As you've received the invitation, it is just to bring the residents of Johannesburg and you in particular our concern with something that we've noted with very serious concern, the incidences of illegal land occupation across our municipality. We have information that has led us to conclude that they are politically orchestrated, particularly by the ANC, with a deliberate aim of destabilizing our new coalition administration. We condemn this illegal acts outright. This is not only unlawful, but more worryingly is the blatant abuse of vulnerable members of our communities to achieve political ends. This is unacceptable and cannot be tolerated. What those hell-bent at destabilizing the city at all costs must understand that with every illegal land occupation, land for housing development is held up. And law-abiding residents who have been waiting for services and houses for years under previous ANC administration are unfortunately made to wait even longer. Their conduct is anti-poor, illegal, and does not have the best interest of those who have been ignored by the ANC government for years at heart. This coalition administration is committed to doing everything possible to restore the dignity of our people through provision of adequate housing, equipped with all the required basic services that our people deserve. As part of our blueprint to move the city forward, we have committed to running an inclusive, responsive, and pro-poor government, which will be accessible to all our residents. One of our top priorities is to complete an official and credible housing waiting list and get it signed by myself, the mayor, as an executive mayor, as soon as possible. And our housing department, after our 4-day stretch session last week, workshop, they've committed to provide that waiting list, that housing list, within the next 90 days. It is acknowledged that there are people who have been on the city housing list, waiting list, since 1996, 1997, and still do not have access to proper housing. This is made worse by the lack of transparency in the housing list under previous administrations, which have led to suspicions of corruption. The city is committed to tackling these inherited challenges, and we are prepared to face it head on. We have set out to fast-track the handover of title deeds to our communities. We acknowledge that the title deeds would enable residents to access bank loans, give them access to the economy, and thereby empowering residents with an important tool that lift their communities out of poverty. We also remain committed to completing a credible and transparent housing waiting list, which I, as an executive mayor, will sign off within 90 days, as I've earlier indicated. We are also committed to upgrading informal settlements in an effort to provide basic services and land tenure by the end of our term in 2021. Subsidized housing will be allocated according to the qualification criteria, and residents are encouraged to register with the relevant authorities in their respective areas. We also call on residents to blow the whistle on any fraudulent and corrupt activities associated with the allocation of subsidized houses. Corruption, ladies and gentlemen, steals from the poor, and my administration will not stand by and watch this practice continue. Having announced our intention to turn the city of Johannesburg around, we hereby call on residents and members of the public to cease illegal land occupation and to understand there's no quick fix to the massive housing backlog in the city of Johannesburg. We will not lie to our residents. There's a big backlog that is going to take lots of hard work by the city to start making a dent in these inherited challenges that we're all aware of. We therefore call on all residents to exercise restraint and be patient with the housing allocation process. Residents should not be misled and be used by individuals pushing political agendas. All land occupation without prior authorization by relevant authorities remain illegal, and by law, JMPD is mandated to evict people of illegally occupied land. This is an outcome which the city wishes to avoid, because we know the real concern that our residents are facing and how the instigators of such conduct are politically motivated. But we require residents to work with us and stop these actions. Our promises to you is to always be honest about the progress being made and to keep you informed of the progress that we want to make. The city remains committed to providing a wide range of well-located, good quality, adequate, serviced, safe and affordable accommodation opportunities for all our residents. This will be a first step towards restoring the dignity of our communities in our city and start building a Johannesburg that is inclusive, a true home for all of us. We are concerned about this development. As you are aware, we only a government today, 17 days into office. Over the last week or so, we had to engage the services of JMPD to deal with these matters coming from across the city. And unfortunately for us, when it came to our attention, it came out that this was a politically motivated, driven program. We call on our residents, our vulnerable people, not to be used for political ends. We are committed to them. We are committed to our mission to ensure that our poor members of our communities are attended to. So the question of the housing list, very crucial. For us to begin the process of allocation of houses or stands can only happen when we have a credible housing list, transparent one. Because fortunately enough, over the 7 months of campaigning, this particular matter of housing list was one of the most painful experiences that our people faced over many years. And we promised them, and we are committed to that process, that the compilation of a credible, open housing list is a key priority for our government. It is for that reason I pushed management, particularly from the housing department, to give me the commitment. And they've committed to give me that housing list within the next 90 days. So what does this say? Obviously, during this period of waiting for the housing list, it would be irresponsible for us as government to start the allocation. There are houses, as you are aware, in the city, stock of houses, some of them owned by the city, some of them owned by the province. Some of these houses have been ready, completed 5-7 years. Why these houses have never been allocated to our people, only the previous administration can tell us. But we are working on this project with the housing department to ensure that we have stock of these houses, including the ones that are owned by the province, because we like to ensure that all the houses in the city of Johannesburg must be given to our people, with title deeds, and must be done as a matter of agency. But however, the only way that we can start that process, we want to ensure that people don't get these houses because they belong to our families, they belong to our political parties. These houses must be given to our people who've been on the waiting list. And on the waiting list since 1995 and 1996, those are the people that we need to get first preference. So we are appealing to our people, to our communities out there. Please cooperate with the housing department in ensuring that we compile a credible housing list that is going to be acceptable to everyone. So you colleagues as the media, we are asking for your assistance, we are asking for your support to ensuring that we don't have things like this happening to our communities. This is unacceptable. And us, as the new coalition government, we're committed to ensuring that corruption, we deal with it and we deal with it effectively. But what is more important is to ensure that our people are not used, our vulnerable poor people are not used for political gains. So it is our responsibility, all of us as peace-loving citizens of this country, to work together to ensure that we bring in a new era that people of Johannesburg voted for on the 3rd of August.